I'm gonna try to beat the sun. I picked up 5 polishes from the ESSIE summer collection. I did skip out on In Full Swing, which is the lighter peach, because I just wasn't interested in it. These are all influenced by the streets of Argentina, and the colors are really beautiful. I blame this entire purchase on this purple one here, which is the first one that I picked up nearly 2 weeks ago, not knowing it was part of a new collection. I came home, put it on my nails, loved it so much. I looked up to see what collection it was from, and that's when I found out it was new, and then that's when I saw the rest of the lineup here. These are all influenced by the streets of Argentina. These are all limited edition, and they all dry to a demi-matte finish. On ESSIE's website, they're saying that these are neon hues, and when I think of hues, I think of a wash of color or hinting towards something like a tint, which I have to agree, because these are not full-on neons. I think they give that kind of vibrancy to them, but they're not neons to where you're required to have a white base. They're not eye-searingly bright, although I have to say this tangerine orange one is the brightest of them all, and they all look really beautiful. But I did do a swatch of all of these on all of my nails. Let's see, I did one color on each nail over top of a white. Because these are demi-matte, I came in very well knowing that I needed to be very careful with my application and not overworking the polish, lightening up my pressure. I went in with a good first coat, and then when I went in with my second or third coat, I just lightened up the pressure and almost glided the brush over top of the nail, so I didn't disturb any layers underneath it. But although they are kind of a semi-matte, not kind of, they are a semi-matte finish, they don't dry so fast to where they're applying or they're drying as you're applying them. So let me start off with Tangoed in Love, which is the one I blame this entire purchase on. This one here is labeled as a neon purple on ESSIE's website. For me, this got opaque at 3 coats. I have worn this a couple of times without a top coat and with a top coat, and I gotta say I love it without the top coat. The finish combined with the color of this one, I think, makes it for a very beautiful polish, and it looks a little bit brighter, funny enough, and it's almost giving me a little bit of an ultraviolet kind of vibe going on, which makes it look a little bit brighter. Because I didn't top coat it, it did chip in a day and a half, which is pretty normal for any matte. It's not just this one, it's all mattes. If you want it to last a little bit longer, put on a good base and a good top coat. Maybe if you have shorter nails, you may be able to get away with 2 coats. When I top coated this off, it did look bright, but I felt like the top coat deepened up the color a little bit, and it almost subdued it just a little bit. But really beautiful. You're gonna see it over top of a white, but quite frankly, with none of these moving forward, when I reach for them, I'm not using them with a white base. But I'm a very lazy person when it comes to neon polishes. Not that these are neons, but just neons in general. If I can get them opaque on their own, I will, to avoid any additional layers, with the exception of a couple like Celtic Sun from China Glaze, or even Flip Flop Fantasy, although with Flip Flop Fantasy I'm pretty lazy with that one too, and I just kind of put it on by itself. Souls on Fire is the tangerine orange. This one here gets opaque at 3 coats for me. I do currently have it on my toes, and this is the one that I needed to be a little bit more careful than the other ones, I think, because this is the brightest of them all. I did overwork this one on one of my toes. So they all have a really good formula, and you have ample time to apply them. I just felt like this one I needed to be a little bit more careful with. This one over top of a white does brighten up a little bit, but not so much to I feel like it's worth adding the additional layers. Just an FYI. Strike a Rose is the pink one in the collection. This one in the bottle looks a little bit more like a hot pink, but on my nails it looks more like a pinky coral, more pink than coral, if that makes sense. Really beautiful color. Another one that looks slightly bit brighter with a white base, but again, not one that to me is worth the additional layers. 3 coats for this one, really good formula. Take the Lead is the sky blue in the collection, and this one and Tangoed in Love are 2 of my favorites. I love these colors. These are amazing. This one is a sky blue. I wore this actually when I went to the pool. and my hands when they were under the pool water. Oh my god, my nails were glowing. They looked so beautiful, and they almost looked a little bit aqua. It looked amazing for a pool day. This one, great formulation, 2 coats for full opacity. And the last one that I have here is Claim to Flame, and this is the one that I don't consider not even a bright polish. More than anything, I feel like this is a neutral, and this, I am oddly loving this color. It's how do I feel? Like, I don't, the first time that I applied it and I did top coat it, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I loved it in such a weird way, because I find this color to be pretty unique. It looks a little bit, I think on their website they described it as a spicy neon. A spicy, definitely agree. Neon, not so much. But I'm also seeing a little bit of a clay color, and actually matches a little bit of my lips, which is lipstick that I'm wearing here is from Maybelline, and this one is called Clay Crush. And it's almost identical to the polish. This polish is a little bit brighter. When I left it in its natural finish, I felt like the color flushed with my skin a little bit. When I added the top coat, I feel like it brightened it up a little bit to where it actually showed up on my nails. But really beautiful. 2 coats for full opacity. Really good formula on this one. And this one for me, I feel like would be one that would be great for a great transition color from summer to the fall season. Overall, I think it's a nice collection. Is it super vibrant? No. Again, I think this is more, for me personally, more of a spring transitioning into summer kind of situation, but really good overall. So that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.